From New York, New York, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis, you rat bastard!
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. So many of us get into relationships with people who, well, they just don't understand the team concept. They don't get it. This is why I would insist on a prenup and people, you know, you have your money, I have my money. Why? Because so many people just waste it. They don't save it. They don't plan for the future. They don't plan for their retirement. They don't plan for investment. They don't plan. And many of us, when we get with somebody who doesn't understand the game plan. We get with people who... they just need that cute stuff they see in the window of the store. They just need that junk. You know. I have always said that, you ever go to the mall with a woman who looks at store windows all the time and says, look at that, isn't that cute? Look at that, it's cute. And whether it's a puppy dog or a glass figurine of a Smurf, these are things that she thinks are cute today, but today's cute is tomorrow's crap. Tomorrow's garbage. Tomorrow's discards. Bottom line. And guys do it, too. Guys waste money. Guys spend like there's no tomorrow. I don't date guys, so I don't have this problem. All I can tell you is that I've been around women who just spend on anything. They just want to spend. They don't even want to spend money on stuff that makes them happy or stuff that... It's the act of spending the money that makes them happy, not the actual item they're purchasing. To be with somebody who spends a lot of money, who wastes it, drive me crazy. Ever been with somebody who, stupid thing, ever been with somebody who just leaves all the lights on in the house? Every room of the house has 3 TVs on at the same time? One in every room of the house with his TV. What is that all about? What is that? You know, if you save your money, you can get really cool stuff. Like maybe you can buy that house you can't afford, or maybe you can take that vacation you've been wanting. Well, there are some people who don't see the connection between wasting money on stupid stuff and the great stuff you could be getting later on. So I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Are you with somebody who does this, who spends on stupid stuff? And I want to specifically know what stupid things the man or woman in your life is spending money on. You tell me.
1-800-5800-TOM. Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. Tom.
I totally want to be like you.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. Emanating from New York City. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Beth on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
No, I'm trying to hear you. Is this Tom?
No, it's the other guy who says you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Thank you. Do we have a conversation going or not?
Well, it doesn't sound like it, does it?
Well, geez, I don't know. You're running the show, Buster. Do we or don't we? I tried to call and talk to you
I said my line. My line was, you're on the Tom Leykis Show, hello. then that's where you fill in the reason you called. See, I didn't call you, sister. You called me.
Let me tell you why I called you. I don't know. Maybe I missed this poignant little moment. I called to talk to you about parenthood. Apparently that's over. Is that true or not?
Darling, it is over.
It is over?
Yes. We have another topic every hour on this program.
Oh, well, great. You're just like school. You go through everything so quickly.
Well, that's right, because you know what? This is a radio show. And it has a little faster pace, Grandma, than you're used to.
Oh, really? Really?
That's right. That's
right.
Well,
unfortunately, your brain is so scattered, it's hard to keep up with it.
Well, darling, nobody puts a gun to your head to listen in. You know, you've always got nice old KABC over there you can be listening to, or KFI. Plenty of people your age tune in, very satisfied with what they're getting. This is not that kind of program.
A talk show, here in L.A., there aren't too many.
I just recommended a couple to you.
Well, you can't. Will you not want to talk to me?
You should be tuning in to a show that's for people your age.
Well, you are such a son of a bitch.
I am a son of a bitch. I'm a bastard. I'm an a-hole.
You're a bastard. I said you're a son of a bitch.
No, but I'm giving you my entire curriculum vitae.
Okay.
I'm a bastard, son of a bitch, an a-hole, all of those. Now, seriously, Grandma, if you want a show for hip, happening people like you should go over to the John and Ken show on KFI. Perfect for women.
You know what, my dear? I wanted to give you a little bit of grandmotherly advice then. Maybe you didn't have a grandmother. I don't know. Maybe you were just spawned.
Darling, I know you think you're clever, but again, that kind of humor gets big guffaws over there on KABC or KRLA, but on this station, really, it's old news.
I can be sexy too, monsieur. What do you want?
I tend to doubt that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, give it a try, because what I wanted to tell you, the French say that a person who has never had a child is still a child himself, which I consider you.
There's nothing wrong with being a child, darling. I have no problem with that, because this child
How old are you? 39, 49, 59?
Who knows? This child is a self-made multimillionaire. This child shows up reliably at a responsible job every day.
Part of the problem. You measure your wealth in...
This child owns a couple of pieces of expensive real estate, stocks, mutual funds.
Right.
This child owns bonds.
And you tell me, on your deathbed, monsieur, is that going to give you any sort of comfort, any sort of release?
Darling, all you need to do is take a look at the assisted living facilities and the nursing homes in America and see how many people had children who never come to see them, who dump them off in these holding pens waiting to die. And you will see how rewarding having children was for those people.
Can you listen for one moment? I mean,
no.
You can't stop your rhetoric for an instant.
Again, darling, this is a dialogue, not a monologue. And if you're looking, I tell you what, if you want to press, if somebody wants to press a button and get continuous hot air, they can go to the men's room.
What?
Thank you for calling. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Chris.
What is that lady talking about? Gee.
Well, not the topic, because the topic for people who have forgotten during her diatribe is I was asking about people who are in relationships with someone who spends too much money on stupid things.
Well, you're talking to the right man.
Do tell.
I have a girlfriend I've been with for 3 years, and anytime she gets a paycheck, if it's not me buying her something, it's her going right to the mall to buy shoes, and sometimes the occasional large purse.
Do you have the money? Do you have the money to pay for that?
Well, you're going to tear me apart because I know how all this stuff goes. I'm a recent college graduate, and I'm in the market for a career. So as of now, no, I don't.
Well, why are you subsidizing that?
I ask myself that every day.
I mean, do you have such low self-esteem that you feel you need to pay for good sex?
The funny thing is, I knew the whole conversation because I heard this conversation, and I'm not paying for the sex. I put up with it, and about 75% of the time, she's paying for everything: dinner, food, drinks, whatever we do, she's the one paying for it, and I just have to hear
that's
right
an
now.
investment.
Exactly.
That's an investment in the future.
Exactly.
Because her ultimate goal is to get you to sign the contract, the marital contract, and then ultimately to tell you that she wants to have a baby and quit her job.
Yep.
So this is an investment in the future.
We talked today about that.
Who said what?
She said she wants to be a school teacher, and ultimately she's gonna get knocked up and quit her job, and I'm gonna have to take over all the bills.
There you go.
Sucker, huh? A real sucker.
Well, the fact that she's paying for everything today doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, especially when they're so, everything's so expendable. It's just going out so quickly, and it's such small amounts now in relation to how much expensive things are going to be later with houses and children and you name it.
And not just children, but children for the following 2 decades. So for a couple of years of her, buying you popcorn at the movies, you're going to be paying through the nose.
Thanks, Tom. I've been listening to you for about 6 years now, and I love you. Can you take me out Kobe style?
Before you go, what will you do about that situation?
I guess just ride the wave, my friend. I don't know. I mean, I'll just keep letting her buy me things until the day comes where we need to make a decision.
Until she puts a pinhole in the condom?
Well, I got her taking the pills, and yes, I see her take it every day, and I'm sure I could always be using condoms as well, but I'm not.
I would if I were you.
I know you would. Thanks, Father.
Thank you for the call. I'll blow you up. Here you go. 1-800-5800. He'll marry her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he will. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Are you with somebody who spends and spends and spends on stupid things? Stupid things. Jim in Portland, Oregon, home of the other white meat. You're on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, monsieur.
Hello, Jim.
Tom, I know from having listened to you for many, many years that one of the very few French people that you care anything about what they say is the Baron Philippe Rothschilds.
I do indeed.
Yes, yes, yes. And also, little Opus One is never too bad on a nice occasion, is it?
I would like it coming out of my faucet, frankly.
Hey, my friend, I got to tell you, I'm married to a wonderful lady. Been married to her for a long time, but I swear she cannot leave the house without coming back with something that she bought. She cannot leave the house. You wanted to know a specific item. One time she came back from, I don't know where she was, and hey, it's not like we don't have the money, but it's just the thought that why do you need to buy something every time you leave the house? She came back with a little tiny miniature shopping cart, all chrome and, looked exactly like a full-size shopping cart. I said, what are we going to do with that? And you know what she did? She put it on top of the TV console, the console where we've got our entertainment system. It sat there for months. I still don't know what it signifies, why she bought it, or anything like that. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I don't get it either. But, hey, let me ask you a quick question.
All right.
When you go to Mastro's and you're having dinner at Mastro's and you're going to have a cocktail a cocktail before dinner, do you drink bourbon? Do you like bourbon? And if so, what's your call? What's your brand?
Booker's.
Booker's, yeah. How about Basil Hayden? Do you like Basil Hayden?
I love Basil Hayden, and Booker's and Basil Hayden are both made by the same company.
Yes, that's true. In fact, that's a subsidiary of the Jim Beam Corporation, is it not?
Right. Yes,
yeah.
But Booker's is even better.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to give that a shot. Now, how about a Manhattan? Do you like a Manhattan occasionally?
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for taking my call. You guys rock. Take me out, Kobe.
Here you go, Jim.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're a beat to my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Carrie on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Great.
That's good. I was calling because, Tom, I want to know a couple things. One, are you lonely?
Not even a little bit.
Not at all. Not, you don't ever just like sitting at home and think, God, you know, I really wish that, you know, I had somebody who really knew me and, you know.
Plenty of people really, wait, stop right there. Plenty of people really know me, and they've known me for decades.
What about female?
They don't have to be female. It has nothing to do with it.
Okay, what about when you get, you know, older and you can't do for yourself and all of that?
There is no guarantee that a female is going to do those things when someone gets older. None.
True. But, and you said, you know, the whole kid thing, and I understand because I don't have any myself, but I often wonder, I mean, I have my nieces and nephews and all that, but I look at, like, my dad. He just died a little while ago, passed away. And, you know, all of us were around him, and he had his kids, and, you know, you just never worry about any of that or think about
Darling,
it.
Darling, I've got really close friends. I do have family members I'm close to. I do not need to procreate in order to have people around me.
True. What about, and you never, ever, ever want to get married again? Never.
Why would I want to do that?
It was enough for you?
I've had enough. There's no benefit to a man to get married.
One of them really, 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 really hurt you?
It has nothing to do with it. I don't want to be in a position where I risk giving up half of everything I've earned to another person.
What if you married her out of state?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with where you get married. It has to do with where you get divorced.
Really?
Really?
Oh, that's good to know. I'll remember that.
So if you want to take someone to the cleaners, New York or California, two best places to do it.
Oh, no, I don't want to take them to the cleaners. I wasn't thinking about that. I don't really want anybody who, you know, I think the one who has the money is the one who's in control, and I'm good. I don't want to be controlled. So in that respect.
See, you probably agree with me more than you think. No kids, no husband, no boyfriend, happy the way you are.
Actually, I do have a boyfriend, but no, we're, you know, yeah. I was married for 13 years, and it would take somebody really, I mean, they'd have to just blow me away to make me want to do that again. And
your boyfriend does not really blow you away.
Oh, no, I guess not. God, I don't know. It seems kind of claustrophobic, maybe. I don't know. And, like, as soon as that ring goes on your finger, it starts to cut the blood off. And it just starts choking your heart, and all the blood isn't going to your heart anymore, and then soon you die.
Well, I am telling you, what I said to the caller earlier, you know, one look, if you've ever been to an assisted living facility, and I have, or if you've ever been to a nursing home, you will see the laundry list of people who had kids that do not care about them, do not talk to them, and do not take care of them.
So, Tom, don't you think that's because those parents were not very good parents? They weren't really, you know, nice.
No, I believe that by the way, it's not the same in other countries as it is in the United States. In the United States, I read a very interesting book about this when I was in college. And I still own the book. I cannot remember the title because I read it 35 years ago. But let me tell you this. In this country, we're all about independence. Independence, we're free spirits. We have a Declaration of Independence. The word independence comes up a lot. And we even have parents who, when kids turn 18 or 21, they say, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
True. And that's
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, the point is, what then do these people expect when they need help later on, when they tell their kids, get out and get a job, you bum?
Right. And they're, and how you're not equipped to barely wipe your own bottom at 18, much less take care of yourself.
But but in this country, that's what we do.
Right.
Also, in other countries, your parents live with you when they can't work anymore, and your grandparents live with you. But Americans, we don't do that.
That's
This
true.
idea that you're going to marry somebody and they're going to be cleaning your bedpan for you, guaranteed, it's laughable.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I look at my dad, and I guess not everybody's the same way because, we all were there for him. So, I don't know. I guess, and for me, the thought of being old and, being all by myself is just absolutely frightening and very sad. So.
Well, I understand that, but that's why you have to make other plans in life. It is true. You can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And I choose to be around people who are much more reliable, dependable, people who really care about me, keep in touch with me, rather than many of the members of my own family.
Yeah, you've got a point. You're right. Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at the divorce rate, if you think getting married guarantees you're going to have somebody to empty your bedpan, think about it. 1 out of 2 marriages end in divorce.
Yeah, I have my own whole philosophy on why it all ends in divorce, but, That's
why, it doesn't matter why. All that matters is that it does.
That's pretty sad. I think we're all selfish. That's the biggest reason.
Well, but the thing is, there's nothing new about that. People have always been selfish. People have always done what they want to do, what's good for them. They look out for number one. Nothing new about that. That's the people who have kids and don't have kids. It's just the way it is. The parent who kicks you out at 18 is just as selfish as the child who refuses to take care of an elderly parent when the parent is 70 years old.
You're absolutely right.
And do you know, let me give you an example. Many people told me that I should send money to my parents when they needed money. My parents died in the 90s, but when they needed money, I was told, you should send them money. And what everyone conveniently forgot about was the following. When I was a child, I had one of those student savings accounts at the bank. They come into the school, they start you a savings account. And I saved nickels and quarters. I spent time rolling pennies and stuff. And deposited, I'd make a $2 deposit and a $5 deposit and a 50-cent deposit. Whatever the deposit was, they would take it. I would give it. And by the time I turned 10 years old, I had $168 saved. $168.
Wow.
And when my parents wanted to buy a house, they took advantage of the fact that that account was not in my name. I was too young to have my own account. So it was in their name in trust for me. And my parents took the $168 unilaterally and used it to put a down payment on a house. A house I hated. Later, when I was leaving New York and I had a radio job, but I was in debt and I needed to borrow $500 for 5 weeks. And I told them the date of repayment. I would repay with interest, what have you. They simply said no. No. That was it. No.
No explanation, no reason?
Well, I know the reason. My father didn't want me going into the radio business.
Oh.
So here's the deal. Later on, when they needed money, can you blame me for saying no?
No. I would have brought up the fact that they didn't give me the $500 and that they took my $168.
I will tell you what, in the cultures where people's parents move in with them when they get older, those parents would give their kids anything.
Yes.
They would do anything for them, work extra jobs so they could have stuff. I mean, those parents really, really, really gave their kids everything they could. But in this country, you have parents who are like my father was. And my father was just a dictatorial jerk.
Wow.
So why in the world would I want to then reward him for the way he treated me as a kid?
I agree. Were you speaking with him, prior to him passing away?
We were speaking, but we were speaking in this kind I had a very complicated relationship with my dad. I loved him, and I wanted to spend time with him. And he was never around. And when he was around, he was a crank.
Wow.
And, the fact is that I don't think, you know what, everything should be reciprocated. It should be a two-way street. I don't believe parents deserve any more respect than the children do.
True. Yeah, I think everything should be a two-way street, but like selfishness, that doesn't always happen. You can do and do and do for somebody, and 9 times out of 10, people don't even appreciate it. They just take advantage of you.
That's entirely possible. But my point is, as far as selfishness is concerned, this is the way it is. Getting married to somebody or living with somebody doesn't guarantee they're going to be around to do anything for you. You just made my point for me.
You're right. Tom, I may not agree with everything you say on every level, but I do find you fascinating, and I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. She called up with a chip on her shoulder, but, you see what happened to that. It's just past 1:30 on the Tom Leykis Show, and we're talking about those of you out there who have relationships with people who spend like drunken sailors. They buy stupid stuff. Are you with somebody like that? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Liza on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Great.
Awesome. My past relationship, I had a ex-boyfriend that had a serious problem on spending weed, but it was his own medication, I guess. And I agree with a lot of things you say that it's stupid and you need to involve yourself in more extracurricular activities. And I am in a...
By the way, let me point something out to you, and I'm not being facetious here, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you don't like your fiancé spending money on weed...
Oh, no, it's not my fiancé. No, that's the ex-boyfriend. My fiancé is a totally different story.
Oh, okay. I thought they were one of the same.
No, sir. My fiancé...
Okay, well, maybe you did it, but anytime you're with somebody and they're doing something like that, the thing to do is not to fix them. The thing to do is leave.
Yes, I did. I totally did. I packed my bags and left.
Good.
So, my fiancé does have a little bit of a spending problem. He's a huge SC fan, and it's football pretty much every weekend. And he doesn't care. It's pretty much what money goes. It's what money's earned is money spent. And I totally believe in savings. We're planning for a wedding, and I'm like, kind of okay. It's supposed to be 2 persons working on this, but. Yeah, you're going to probably chew me up for the getting married part, but...
Yes.
That's pretty much it. It's outrageous spending. We had a boiling pot, he's Cajun, so it's like a crab, and, you could have like hot dogs or something. That's cool. It's some chips and salsa, but
yes.
The price has got, it's $600 going down the drain. Easily, he could say he's having car problems now, and I'm like, hey... Well, that money easily could have gone to fix your car or a down payment to another car or something.
Right. All right. Now, if you feel that way about him, why would you marry him?
I'm trying to. It's one of the things. It's a big change, and I made self-sacrifices where, you're talking about Prada, big designer bags, and I've taken that down. I don't shop as much as I used to, and. It's one of those things that you love, and this is the person, I wouldn't mind changing his bedpan when he's older. He's a couple years older than me, but, when it comes to that time,
Yeah, but what makes you think he's going to change at that time?
Well, it's one of those things you can hope for.
No, but Dunning, you can't build your life on hoping somebody's going to change.
Yes, sir.
This is who he is, and... it's who he's going to be.
Well, Tom, you've been married several times, but have you gone through anything like this?
Don't you think I've learned something and all that?
Yes, I believe. Dad, I'm asking for advice. Come on.
People don't change.
I'm like one day I'm hoping to have a beautiful house.
I'm hoping that on December 24th, a little old man in a red suit is going to come down my chimney. But you know what? He's stiffed me the last 51 years.
Me too, huh?
That's my point. I can hope all I want that whatever happened in the past is likely to be what's going to happen in the future.
True. So, I mean, you don't think like there's any way that we can go through like not like learning seminar, but for even basic savings?
He doesn't want to do it.
I don't know, Tom.
And, darling, I see here he's 29 years old. He's, you know, when you're 29, you should be all grossed up by now.
True. And I guess this is the part where we flip-flop. Whereas I'm 23 and I'm not the crazy inner 20 spender where I used to be, but oh gosh, I feel like an old woman.
Darling, it's just that you have a different attitude about money. And take it from someone who's been divorced 4 times. If you have a different attitude about money, you'll never fix that.
Wow.
You see, spending money is very much connected to values. Somebody who likes to spend money differently than you has different values than you have. For example, you know, when let's say you want to get married, have kids, have a family, have a house, whatever. In order to have a house, you have to sacrifice, you have to save. You have to give up on a lot of those little purchases.
That's true.
Well, so it isn't just that he wants to spend money on stupid stuff. He doesn't care about the outcome of not saving the money.
That's true.
And never will.
And his dad's an accountant.
Darling, many boys are a reaction against their dads. By the way, including me.
Wow. It obviously it tags along with upbringing. And I lived in a home where my mother, it's a Filipino, grew up a Filipino home. And my mom would give me everything, and she's expecting me to be living in my house, and I'm the youngest girl. I'm the youngest child, actually, so.
Right.
Oh, my. Wow.
Hang on a second here. Hang on a second, Liza. Don't go anywhere. Cheryl, what did you want to say to Liza?
This gal is on drugs. She is headed for a disaster. She needs to get out of that relationship. Everything he's doing, he will do more. It will get worse and worse and worse. It's an addiction. You're crazy. Get yourself somebody that you can live with that doesn't have that problem.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, you're making a huge mistake. That problem will not go away. It will get worse, compounded monthly, daily, yearly. Until you have nothing. You will never have anything.
Cheryl, correct me if I'm wrong here, as I tell Liza. Once he signs the marital contract and feels like he is an indentured servant, he will act badly. He will react against that by doing even more of the things you don't like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had someone like that who put me in the poorhouse, and I asked him if he thought he had a problem. He told me no. I immediately packed my bags and walked out the door.
Wow.
What do you think? What do you think, Liza?
I guess it's a vicious cycle of relationships that I've been in, and I've dated him. We've dated on and off for a long time, for about 5 years now, and we've been actually the past 2 years more committed than ever. And I actually haven't really seen this trend. It went from, even with job ethics, we're having issues on, but I definitely see where you guys are both coming from.
It seems like to me that you know and you can see what's going on. You just have to have enough guts to walk away from it.
And I have a feeling Liza's driven too far down the driveway to back the car out.
Yeah, probably, Tom. She'll have to learn the hard way, like all of us, I guess.
She's going to do it anyway. She's going to marry him, and then she's going to say, well, why won't you change? You need to change.
It's definitely an addiction. It's like a gambling addiction. It's just...
Well, it's beyond that. It's just who he is. Right. It's who he is.
Okay, Tom, I'll go. It was great talking to you. Love being on your show.
Liza, before you go,
yes,
what are you going to do?
I need to get out.
You do.
That's it. I mean, I've seen it. My mom, I'm a product of an unsuccessful divorce, and unfortunately, I mean, I can kind of save my future along with my children's, and I definitely. But thank you, Tom. I appreciate your time, and that's it.
All right, Liza. Good luck. Thanks a lot for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I'm not paying anybody's student loans off. I'm not paying anybody's car payments. I'm not helping anybody pay the mortgage on their grandmother's house. I'm not doing it.
Damn straight, Tom. Preach it.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
From New York City, the Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. Are you in a relationship with somebody who spends money like a nut? They just spend on crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. If you're in a relationship with somebody who spends like a drunken sailor, are you? 1-800-5800-866 is our telephone number. Edward on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing today, Tom?
Doing okay, Edward.
Good. Glad to be on. I got one for you. I'm in a, let's see here, going on I've known my wife for 18 years. We've been married for 8 years. I'll be 34 coming up in December. My wife actually she's been up to no good for the past couple years. She embezzled $161,000.
What?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I figured I definitely need your opinion on this. $161,000 she went through in, I guess, about a year and a half. On top of her salary, she was getting paid, a good $60,000 a year salary, and plus the money I would give her every couple of weeks. I would pay the bills, obviously. So she was spending, I would say, within that 2 years, well over $250,000 on just frivolous, crap.
How did you find out she was an embezzler?
She was a detective. Well, she was fired, actually. So I originally found out. And she came clean and, didn't make it really sound like it was that much money. But, once, the DA picked up the case, obviously, and prosecuted her, we found out what was taken and whatnot. So, you think you know somebody after, 18 years and, something like this happens. So, and I'm stuck now. I have one beautiful 7-month-old boy. This is just all recent, Tom. This all just, happened the last couple of weeks. So I'm stuck at home raising a 7-month-old now. My wife's in prison. She's pregnant with another child. And
of yours?
Of mine, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm running a company by myself, and I just started a new corporation. It's just informed. So, there's just no time for. My son's at a babysitter, obviously. Pretty much. Like tonight, for example, I won't even get to see him because I'm going to be at home too late and up too early, so I won't even be bothering him. But it's just kind of a weird situation right now that I'm in. Knowing this lady for more than half my life. Like I said, I'll be 34. I'm 16 years old. I moved in with them. Her and her parents. It's just I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel or anything.
Wow.
Kind of, yeah. What do you think there, bud?
Well, how you're supposed to feel? Let's face it. It's horrific. It's terrible. It's awful.
Yes.
Awful.
What do you suggest I do now with my life since she's gone? She'll probably be locked up for a year or so, but
I'd want to get as far away from her as I could.
Right. That's kind of how I feel. But at the same time, being in a marriage for knowing your soulmate for 18 years, it's, you're together, and you don't really expect something like this to happen. So I still love her, obviously, but obviously I'm pretty hurt at this all, and what I'm left with now, I'm left with a financial debt of $161,000 she stole, on top of paying for everything else I pay for in life. run my company and, you know, my corporation. So it's
and you're not implicated in this in any way, are you?
No, sir. We had separate bank accounts. I was definitely smarter than that. I've never had a sole. I've always had a separate bank account. So that's what you know, kind of saved me. Obviously, being married to her. You know, well, how come you didn't know this was all going on? And you know, come to think of it, what was so when they audited everything, you know, not only did she have money coming in from her paycheck from, you know, embezzled money. Well, every 2 weeks I would transfer money right from my ATM, right, and she'd say, I need $2,000 for bills. I'm like, okay, $2,000 right into her account. So I'm actually putting money all into her account during all this time. You know, she's actually, and I'm looking at, you know, some of the receipts sometime. On a couple occasions I asked her, I said, God, you know, how come there's over 10, 12 grand in here, you know? And, oh, no, there's not. The car payments, you know, house payment, insurance, blah, blah, blah. It's all, half of that's going out. So thinking, okay, you know, I kind of believe her. My family, they, you know, kind of asked me, you know, where's all this money coming from? I'm like, I basically just asked them kind of like, what do you mean? You know, I don't understand. I'm doing well. She's doing well. She's like, all these gifts and stuff my wife was buying for the families were, I guess, were pretty pricey. And hell, I don't know what's going on. I'm on the field all day. She's out shopping.
Oh, gee, you're killing me. You are absolutely killing me. Our email address is my name, Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.